I am a mother of 3 children, a set of 4-year-old twins and a 5-year-old, and I am moving into this house behind me. I don't know if you can see it in the shot, but I'm excited. Today is paint day. We're gonna paint the whole house. I am an early childhood special education teacher for Richmond City Public Schools. I couldn't afford a house on my own with my salary.
There is such a need for affordable housing. 1.6 billion people live in substandard housing. Substandard housing could be considered you're paying more than 30% of your income on housing. Unsafe conditions, unsanitary conditions, overcrowded conditions.
I'm excited. I am from this neighborhood. I actually grew up a few blocks over. I drive through the neighborhood when I'm on my way to the site, and I'm like, I remember that, and that's Miss such and such, you know, just all these places that I'm introducing my babies to it.
We are in the Randolph and Maymont neighborhood, which, as everyone knows, is right by the river. So it's a quickly gentrifying neighborhood that's becoming very popular. We are so pleased to be partnering with the Housing Authority here, who donated these houses, well, for a small sum, because a family like Antoinette's will be able to be in this home for a very affordable price with a zero-interest mortgage.
Need another bucket. Zane!
This zero-interest mortgage does not come easily. Antoinette is going through between a year and 18-month program where she takes 10 homeownership courses, where she learns everything to watch out for predatory lending, to good credit.
Things about how to budget your money so you can afford your home the long run and you won't run into foreclosure or anything of that nature. Those essential skills that you need, because renting is so much different from owning. When you rent, you can call somebody, hey, take care of this, take care of that. When you're owning, take care of it yourself. And having to work on my own house, it's like some of those things that I would say, well, I have to get somebody else to do. Now I know how to do them myself. I help put the siding up. I help with the bathroom downstairs. That's the whole point. You come on site, you can't just stand around because, you know, my site supervisor, Bill, he's definitely gonna put me to work.
You're supposed to be walking.
Hey, you know, I told one of my friends I built the shed and she's all like, I need you to build me a shed. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's about perseverance. So you have to be dedicated and you have to time management when it comes to Habitat. But it's an awesome program. You just have to stick with it. It's, you know, the end result is amazing.
Habitat is basically renovating the entire house from the roof all the way down to the crawl space. It'll be a totally new house inside, energy efficient, modern appliances, upgrading the electricity, insulation. So in essence, although the house was built in the mid-50s, when we get finished in another month or so, it'll be, for all intents and purposes, a brand new house. We're finishing up the hardy plank siding on the back end of the house, but on any particular day, we may be ripping up floors, doing framing, installing kitchen cabinets. Obviously, you want to have a licensed electrician, plumber, heating, and air conditioning guy doing your trades work, but everything else is for the most part done by Habitat volunteers such as myself. The weekday crew, none of us come from a construction background, but over the course of time, working with each other and working with Bill, you pick up the skills, and the nice part is you learn something, but every day working with the walk-on volunteers, you have an opportunity to teach them.
I know they said the steps were in a really weird space.
They were facing lengthwise that way, and they were really narrow and there weren't any handrails, and so it was incredibly unsafe. And the bedrooms were really weirdly laid out. The ceilings were awful and just, it was bad.
In the bathroom, that's cool.
That was added new.
Even the insulation, I can see the shape of the room now. And it's so much quieter in here.
We're at what we call the pre-drywall stage, which is after insulation but before drywall. This is sprayed fiberglass batt insulation. It's actually custom fit to any type of cavity so that we're able to actually achieve the full thermal resistance that the product's rated at. So you can see the foam along here. That'll ensure that there's a nice airtight building envelope. You'll also notice that around the window and also where the bottom plate is sealed to the floor, all along the perimeter of the building. You might not think that that's really important, but if you can slip a business card all the way around the perimeter of the building and you add up that hole, you're going to come back with a very large hole, like leaving your door open all the time. Our involvement with Habitat for Humanity actually originated in 2008. Viridiant offers the Earthcraft family of programs, which is a prescribed approach to sustainable and energy efficient construction. On average, our Earthcraft homes have been demonstrated to save 35% on energy efficiency. What that ultimately means for the homeowner is that we can have low utility bills and great indoor air quality. Richmond is the second asthma capital in the nation, and they are first for fatalities due to asthma. So there's been a recent conversation going on between our housing advocates and the health department. So I think the next part of the conversation is going to be, how do we do preventative opportunities, such as building good quality housing like Richmond Metropolitan Habitat for Humanity does.
Habitat takes families out of poverty, not just the family living in the house, but for generations. Sudie Williams, 7 years ago, paid off her mortgage through this 20-year period. Sudie had moved out of Gilpin Court with her 4 children, single mom, as 86% of our families are, into her new home. She talked about health because all of our homes are very healthy air-wise. She talked about self-esteem for children. They were bringing their friends home after school, which they did do in Gilpin Court. But what hit me right here was all 4 children went to college, 3 have bachelors, 1 has a master's, and 2 own their own homes. So we are delighted that now Tia Williams, one of Sudie's daughters, is on our board.
Habitat's a great organization. We all know how important home ownership is. And just realizing that you're one small part of that overall effort, I think is very rewarding. At the end of the day, it's kind of nice because you can look over your shoulder and actually see something you've accomplished.
Antoinette says thank you for coming out.
Thank you all.
If you had a message to give to Habitat, what would it be?
Keep up the good work. You know, there's so much negativity in the world. You know, you just want to, your intent has to be good. And I think the intent, Habitat has really good intent. And that's a blessing nowadays with all the evilness in the world. And to just have an organization like Habitat to like give people a leg up, you know? Thank you. Thank you. We people love. Oh my God. It's something I want to give my kids a future. And without Habitat, I love teaching. I'm going to teach. But in order to give my kids a future, I couldn't continue to be a teacher. I couldn't afford a home of my own. And so just to have Habitat to say, okay, we'll work with you. It definitely is a partnership. And now it's gonna help my kids' future, my future, and it's amazing. It's just, you know, you see so much on the news and so much evilness, and there are still kind people in the world, and you just have to be willing to reach out and to, you know, let people in.
Wait, whose house is this?
My house. This is my house. Thank you, Habitat.
This is how Antoinette's home looks now. She'll be moving in soon. To donate usable household items, volunteer, and fill out home ownership applications, visit richmondhabitat.org.